the day your money became a crime. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that the cash in your wallet is now illegal. Not illegal to spend, illegal to own. You have 30 days to hand it over to the government, or face a fine worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and 10 years in prison. Sounds like dystopian fiction, right? It's not. It happened in America in 1933. And it changed everything about how money works. When they made gold a crime. On April 5, 1933, President Franklin Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6102. With one stroke of a pen, he made it a federal crime for ordinary Americans to own gold. Not gold jewelry. Not rare coins. But gold bars, gold certificates, and regular gold coins, the things people actually saved. Citizens had until the end of April to surrender their gold to the government. In return, they'd receive paper dollars at $20.67 per ounce. No negotiation. No choice. Comply or go to prison. This wasn't presented as theft. It was sold as patriotic duty, as necessary sacrifice to save the economy from total collapse. But here's what really happened. The heist hidden in plain sight. After collecting the gold from millions of Americans, the government did something breathtaking. In January 1934, less than 9 months later, they passed the Gold Reserve Act and revalued gold from $20.67 to $35 per ounce. Read that again. They forced citizens to hand over gold at the old price, then immediately raised its value by 40%. The people got paper. The government pocketed the difference. It was the largest legal robbery in American history, and most people didn't even realize they'd been robbed. Why did this happen? By 1933, America was drowning. The Great Depression had crushed the economy. 1 in 4 Americans had no job. Banks were failing by the thousands. And people were panicking. Back then, dollars were backed by gold. Every paper dollar could theoretically be exchanged for gold at a fixed rate. When fear spread, everyone rushed to the banks demanding the real thing, actual gold. The banks couldn't handle it. The system was hemorrhaging reserves and heading toward total collapse. Roosevelt needed a radical solution. So he broke the link between citizens and gold entirely. By confiscating private gold and devaluing the dollar, he gave the government power to print money far beyond what the gold standard had allowed. It let him fund the New Deal, bail out banks, and expand government spending massively. For the government, it was salvation. For the banks, it was rescue. For ordinary people, it was theft dressed as law. Make it personal. Picture your grandparents spending a lifetime saving gold coins. It was their security, their legacy to pass down. Then overnight, the government declares it illegal. They're forced to surrender it at a fixed price. And immediately afterward, the government announces that gold is now worth 40% more. Your family loses everything. The system wins. And nobody can do a damn thing about it. That's not hypothetical. That happened to millions of American families. The courts blessed the robbery. People fought back, of course. Lawsuits flooded the system. Many contracts back then included gold clauses, promises to repay debts in actual gold, not paper, as protection against inflation. By seizing gold and devaluing the dollar, the government had ripped up those contracts. Creditors sued, arguing the government had violated property rights and destroyed private agreements. The cases reached the Supreme Court in 1935. The court sided with Roosevelt. By a single vote. The message was clear. In times of crisis, the government can rewrite the rules of money, override contracts, and confiscate wealth, all in the name of national interest. Who really won? The government won big. By confiscating and revaluing gold, Washington instantly gained billions in reserves. That gave Roosevelt the money to launch New Deal programs without raising taxes during a depression. The banks won too. Transferring citizens' gold to the Federal Reserve stabilized the banking system. The institutions that had failed depositors got bailed out at the expense of the people who trusted them. The wealthy found loopholes. Some moved gold overseas before the deadline. Others converted wealth into exempt assets like rare collectible coins or jewelry. They had options. Ordinary citizens didn't. They complied or risked prison. Wealth flowed upward, from households to the state and the elite. Why you should care right now? You might think, that was 1933. Things are different now. Are they? The principle hasn't changed. When the system faces collapse, governments will do whatever it takes to survive, even if that means stripping wealth from citizens. In 1933, it was gold confiscation. In 2008, trillions in taxpayer bailouts for banks too big to fail. In 2013, Cyprus seized portions of bank deposits to stabilize its financial system. In 2020, unprecedented money printing inflated asset prices while wages stagnated, quietly eroding purchasing power. And inflation? That's just modern confiscation. No agents knock on your door demanding gold. But every year prices rise faster than wages, your savings buy less, your labor is worth less, and the system absorbs the difference. It's wealth transfer in slow motion, hidden in plain sight. The rules will change again. Don't assume your wealth is safe. Don't assume the system will honor its promises. When pressure builds, the rules will change. If the government once made gold illegal, what stops them from freezing digital accounts, seizing retirement funds, or imposing wealth taxes that strip savings overnight? The precedent exists. The only difference is the form it takes next time. What real wealth actually means. True financial security can't exist only as numbers on a screen. Real wealth means skills no government can confiscate. Hard assets that hold value when paper promises collapse. Knowledge of history, so when the next emergency is declared, you recognize the pattern instead of becoming a victim. When America confiscated gold, it was framed as rescue, as patriotism, as necessary sacrifice. But the outcome was clear. The system survived, and the people paid. History doesn't repeat exactly, but it echoes the same warning. If wealth could be taken once, it can be taken again. And if you don't understand how money and power truly operate, you'll always be left holding paper when the rules change. Remember 1933. The next time a politician promises your money is safe, remember 1933. Remember that the financial system isn't built on natural laws, it's built on decisions of power. And decisions of power can turn against you instantly. The government called it stabilization. History calls it confiscation. Your grandparents called it the day America stole their gold. What will you call it when it happens again? Protect yourself with knowledge, awareness, and assets beyond the system's reach. Because the most dangerous assumption you can make is that it can't happen here. It already did. If this opened your eyes, share it. History holds the warnings, and someone needs to remember them. Don't wait for history to repeat itself before you act. Take control of your wealth before it's too late. Protect your finances, because no one will do it for you. Don't let the system decide your fate. Be proactive, not reactive. Every dollar you safeguard today is a shield against tomorrow's uncertainty. Learn from history, act with wisdom, and ensure your wealth survives any storm. Take control now. Your future depends on the choices you make today.